Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a woman named Emma. Emma was a kind-hearted and friendly person who enjoyed her peaceful life. However, little did she know that her life was about to take a dark and unsettling turn for the worse. After a final and absolute unpleasant encounter and show of courage with her ex-lover where Emma decided to leave due to the mental abuse and torment that marked her existence with this person, she started noticing some strange and unusual occurrences that had never really happened before. One day, Emma started noticing something strange. Everywhere she went, she felt a constant gaze upon her. It was as if someone was always watching her, monitoring her every move. At first, she dismissed it as mere coincidence or her imagination playing tricks on her. But as time went on, Emma couldn't ignore the signs any longer. She began encountering the same people repeatedly, even in the most unlikely of places. It seemed highly improbable, yet there they were, always lurking nearby. A feeling of unease crept over her, and she couldn't shake off the discomfort. She found that her conversations were not as private as she thought. Her intimate details and personal information seemed to be known by strangers. It was as if her boundaries had been crossed, leaving her feeling exposed and vulnerable. It was as if they, whoever that could be, were trying to bring shame and uncertainty into Emma's sheer existence. What troubled Emma the most was the manipulation of her perception. She would witness something with her own eyes, only to have others convince her that it didn't happen or twist the events to fit their own version of reality. They would ask her things like, "Have you had a recent mental evaluation done?" Emma was one of the most sane and centered individuals you would ever have the pleasure of knowing. Still, doubt started creeping in, and she questioned her own sanity and perception of the world. The harassment intensified over time. Emma endured relentless attempts to create fear and anxiety in her life. She received menacing messages, encountered threatening gestures, and felt an overwhelming sense of being targeted. The constant psychological warfare left her on edge, always looking over her shoulder. Character assassination became a dark art employed by the gangstalkers. They spread rumors and falsehoods about Emma, painting her as an unreliable and unstable individual. This campaign of character assassination aimed to discredit her, making it easier for the gangstalkers to isolate her from her support network and manipulate her further. Distorting reality was another malevolent tactic they employed. They would carefully construct scenarios to make it appear as though Emma was the one responsible for the unsettling incidents she experienced. By blurring the lines between truth and fiction, they sowed seeds of confusion and self-doubt in her mind. As Emma delved deeper into her unsettling experiences, she came to a shocking realization that she was being systematically targeted by a group of gangstalkers. Their sinister tactics were not limited to surveillance alone, they went to great lengths to manipulate her perception of reality and undermine her sense of self. The gangstalkers were masters of deception, using lies and denial as their primary weapons. They would craft intricate narratives, contradicting their own statements, and making it seem as though Emma's understanding of events was flawed. Each time she confronted them with evidence, they would skillfully twist the facts, leaving her doubting her own memory and judgment. As the situation escalated, Emma found herself isolated and alienated. The once strong bonds with her friends and family started to fray. The perpetrators had managed to create a divide, making Emma feel cut off from her support networks. She felt alone in her battle against a malicious, torturous, invisible enemy. Emma soon realized that she was being gaslighted by gangstalking operatives. Lies, denial, character assassination, and distortion of reality became their weapons of choice. They would contradict their previous statements, manipulate facts, and try to convince her that she was the one who was mistaken. It was a relentless psychological assault on her sense of self. The gangstalkers' relentless psychological assault left Emma emotionally drained and mentally fragile. She felt like she was trapped in a web of deception, unable to discern who she could trust or rely on. The stress and anxiety they inflicted on her took a toll on her overall well-being, affecting her work, relationships, and daily life. Over time, Emma mustered the courage to confront her gaslighters and expose their tactics to those around her. She documented instances of manipulation and gathered evidence to present to legal authorities. Armed with the truth and support from her newfound community, she took legal action against her tormentors. She also discovered that this was not an isolated incident. There were others who had experienced similar forms of organized stalking and psychological manipulation. Emma found solace in knowing that she was not alone, but she knew she needed to take action. As her story gained attention, more individuals came forward, sharing their own experiences with gangstalking and gaslighting. Emma's bravery and determination sparked a broader conversation about the insidious nature of these practices and the need for more awareness and protection for victims. With the support of her closest friends and family, Emma sought help from health professionals and legal authorities. She realized the importance of seeking professional assistance to combat the gaslighting and gangstalking she was facing. Slowly, Emma began to regain her strength and rebuild her life. She refused to let the perpetrators define her reality or undermine her sanity. Through therapy, support groups, and legal guidance, she found the courage to stand up against the gaslighting tactics and seek justice. Emma's story serves as a reminder that gaslighting and gangstalking are serious issues that require acknowledgement and support. Ultimately, Emma's journey was one of resilience, healing, and empowerment. Though she had endured a nightmarish ordeal, she emerged stronger and more determined to raise awareness about gaslighting and gangstalking. Her experience served as a cautionary tale, reminding others to stay vigilant and seek support if they ever found themselves targeted by similar manipulative tactics. If you find yourself experiencing similar signs, reach out to trusted individuals and healthcare professionals or vetted legal authorities. Together, we can shed light on these dark practices and ensure that victims receive the help and support we deserve.